talk about Creature from the Black Lagoon. The film is about a bunch of scientists heading to the Black Lagoon to do some studies. But the mysterious creature is pissed that these scientists are invading his turf. So, goes on a killing spree, and he draws a particular fondness to the female one. This movie came out around a time where the traditional type of horror movie was starting to become, well, not scary. People were more scared at the real horrors of the world going on at the time. So this gave birth to what we like to call the atomic age of horror, where most, if not all, of the monsters caused in the horror movies were scientific disasters. Great examples of these include films like The Fly, The Thing from Another World, The Blob, Earth vs. the Flying Saucers, and even Godzilla. Creature from the Black Lagoon is a bit unique, considering the fact that people tend to put this in the same league as other classic Universal horror movies from the 30s and 40s, such as Dracula and Frankenstein and The Mummy and all that type of stuff. In fact, Creature from the Black Lagoon is so influential that it's often considered the last of the Universal horror monsters. And it's a good movie. It definitely deserves it. The cinematography is gorgeous. The black and white really does do the film justice, but I believe that with all the water around and the fact that it's set in a jungle around a lake or a lagoon, something like that, and a lot of underwater shot, I dare to say that this film would have looked a lot better if it was shot in color. I know, it's blasphemous to say, you could say that I'm going to hell or whatever, but I do believe that Creature from the Black Lagoon would have looked a lot better if we could see the Gill Man pure greenified, like we do in all the merchandise. Or say, I just knocked over a little other piece of merchandise that I had. Or we could clearly see the beauty of it. I think it would look beautiful in color. I don't say this to most black and white horror movies because I like the black and white chilling atmosphere. The black and white atmosphere helps tons of classic horror movies, but I feel like that the black and white is a bit of a disservice for this film. Not to say that the black and white is bad. The black and white still looks pretty cool. I just think that it would have looked a lot better if it was in color. Say the film came out a couple decades later, they say it would look beautiful. In fact, technically, we did get a remake by Universal a couple decades later, and that movie was called Jaws. Yeah, Jaws actually has parallels to Creature from the Black Lagoon a little bit. Not a whole lot to be considered a full-blown remake, but enough to see the similarities. See Jaws as a bit more of an inspiration. Creature from the Black Lagoon, overall, is a good movie. It got 2 sequels released the following years. The second movie is actually most notable for featuring the screen debut of Clint Eastwood. That most of us probably know that because of this scene from Back to the Future Part 3.
Clint Eastwood never wore anything like this.
Nice.
Several decades later, in 2009, Universal Studios Hollywood would open up Creature from the Black Lagoon, the musical. A 40-minute comedy musical that retells the story of the film with several cringe-inducing jokes. Both of them pop culture references and direct jabs at Disney.
The Disney cruise is fleeing from the Black Lagoon!
It closed after like 2 months. That didn't really tarnish the legacy of the original film. In fact, around that same time, it was rumored that a flat-out remake of the film would be in development. And the funny thing is that Creature from the Black Lagoon is the only Universal monster to not have a remake. I mean, Dracula, Frankenstein, The Mummy, The Wolfman, and even The Phantom of the Opera have all had remakes.
And also Blumhouse's Invisible Man remake. Hello.
I mean, okay, sure. Technically, The Bride hasn't had a remake, but she still technically counts as Frankenstein and stuff like that. Creature from the Black Lagoon, no remake. Nada. Diddly squat. Maybe the time is right to make a brand new Creature from the Black Lagoon movie. With Universal trying to remake all their monsters, maybe they should give the creature another chance. I feel like with the modern cinematography skills, and maybe keep the practical effects for the creature, and the fact that the underwater filming techniques have gotten a whole lot better since 1954, a remake of Creature from the Black Lagoon could be freaking awesome. Let me know what you would think of a remake down in the comments below.
And thus, another tale of the House of Terror has come to an end.